Nation at war against galamsey. Well, the people of Wawasi, a mining community in the Wawasi East constituency in the Ashanti region, have expressed satisfaction about the work of Operation Vanguard and have asked the team goes the long haul in consolidating the gains they have chalked over the past few weeks. The Ashanti region is one of the areas that have been heavily and adversely affected by illegal mining, and currently a fraction of the 400-man task force are stationed in that region in a bid to end the illegality. Speaking to JoyNews on Tuesday, when the Defense and Interior Ministers visited the community, residents said not only has the activities of Operation Vanguard ended illegal mining in the area, but it is also keeping the communities safe. Latif Idris has more in the following report.
So it's just 35 minutes after 1 p.m. and we just got off MI-171SH. That's the aircraft. It just took us 30 minutes to move from the western region town of Takwa to the Ashanti region town of Wawasi. The minister's aircraft will just touch down here on the field, and yet again the mission is to look at the operations of Operation Vanguard, which has been on the ground for a little over a month now, and already they've recorded some successes. And the minister's visit is to assess their operations and also serve as a morale booster to help the Operation Vanguard team to continue forge ahead to end illegal mining, particularly in the three regions. We are talking about the western region, the eastern region, and the Ashanti region. So now we are in the Ashanti region and Wawasi, to be precise. We are here at Wawasi on the streets of the Wawasi East constituency, yeah, am I right?
East constituency.
Okay, and so you give us your name.
My name is Kojata.
Kojata.
Yeah.
What would be your own assessment of Operation Vanguard's
It is
activity?
okay. It is very good. It is very okay. I like the Operation Vanguard because the galamsey, it is stopping. It is not going to happen again because my nephew and my brothers are dying on the galamsey side. So for instance, I don't want the galamsey to come out. I want the galamsey to die down so that Wawasi will have our peace.
What else do you expect the Vanguard team to do apart from what they've done so far?
Oh, I want them to be quiet. I want them to be calm. I don't want them to bully anybody.
Have they been bullying people?
No, not yet, but I've been hearing news all around. I don't want them to bully anybody. But you know, Wawasi, they haven't done any so. So I don't want them to bully anybody. I want them to do the job, what the government have said them to do. And that one that we are expecting.
Okay. Your name again?
Kojata.
Kojata, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
We'll still walk, on the streets of Wawasi and the Wawasi East constituency, still trying to get or sample the views of residents here about the activities of the Operation Vanguard. Hello, you're welcome to JoyNews.
Hello.
You give me your name?
I'm Ike.
Ike. Operation Vanguard has been in your community for a month now. What will be your assessment of the operation?
It's been good so far. Like when they were not here, things were very bad, I would say. But ever since they came, things have been very peaceful. Like all those guys who were, were kind of wants to go to people's houses to steal and all that, I think it has reduced, and it's been good. We've been enjoying their company. It's been good. We want them here. It's good.
They will be in the community for at least not less than 1 year.
Yeah, it's been good. It's been good. We want their company. We enjoy them being here.
One unit of Operation Vanguard stationed just a few meters away from here. This is Wawasi, still in the Ashanti region, specifically in Wawasi East constituency, where the Defense Minister, Dominic Nitiwo, and the Minister for the Interior, Ambrose Derry, are currently visiting the three spots where Operation Vanguard teams are stationed, ensuring that illegal small-scale mining comes to an end.
I can say they have been good because the town is stable now. You see activities are ongoing, and you could see the small thefts and all those brutalities around that have been Yeah, that have been happening in the communities. Have been stable now, and then you could see that people are now focused on their petty businesses, and so they've been helping.
Well, to me, they are doing well. We don't have any problem with them. We are all staying together. They are performing their work, so there's no problem for me. I know that they are doing their work. I can't talk anything bad against them.
Have you been helpful to this team, the community members, I mean?
Oh, first when they came.
Because some of you have been accused of sabotaging by informing these illegal miners on sites once the Vanguard team is on the move. Before they get there, the illegal miners are gone.
Okay, you see, what I know is they are helping us and we also are helping them.
The Member of Parliament for the constituency is here, and what will be your own assessment of Operation Vanguard so far? Specific talk about the Ashanti region.
I must say we are privileged to have them around, and for me as the MP for Wawasi East, I'm particularly happy.
Can you introduce yourself to our viewers?
I'm Honorable Dr. Bwachi Yadom, Member of Parliament for Wawasi East. I must say I'm particularly interested in their presence in my constituency because not only are they helping in curbing the galamsey menace, but they are also helping ensuring security as a whole in Obuasi. And with respect to the fight against the galamsey, I'm sure, and with my own assessment, we are on course. With what we witnessed this afternoon, where a whole site is free now. We went there and there was nobody there. Their station is ransacked, and I think this is a strong signal to our people that the government and the president is indeed on course and on track, and is committed to fighting this illegal galamsey, which is destroying our environment, degrading our land, and also polluting our river bodies.
That's what we do.
That's the military style.
We are police from the division, so they can do something about it.
So you mentioned that initial operating capability in 3 days was achieved, and full operating capability in 1 week was achieved. Can you expatiate on that for us?
Yeah, when I say initial operating capability, we're talking about a military situation where a force that have been deployed will have basic resources, know the ground, study the terrain, and have some capability to take on very limited objectives, very limited tasks. And when we talk about full operating capability, we are looking at a situation where a military force that is deployed is in a position where they have all their resources, they have full knowledge of the ground, they have all their registered assets, and they are capable of carrying out full operations.
So it has to do with resourcing the men on the ground?
It's a bit has to do with resourcing, but the most essential thing is putting the capability of the force in such a shape that it can take on major operations.
How did that help in achieving the successes you've achieved so far?
Yeah, well, obviously, if we had not achieved full operational capability in 7 days and we had done it in the 5 weeks, as we were expecting, by now we'll still be settling in, we'll be building our forward operating bases, we'll be visiting, building, tapping information from the ground to process it to intelligence. But all this thing, because of the massive support we got from the local population, believe me, the wave of information was overwhelming, and we were able to process that into intelligence, and that is what led to our initial successes. In fact, if you go to many of the police stations, they are overwhelmed. The numbers they have in their cells, the equipment they have to keep, it's unbelievable. It's gone very well. And I ascribe it to the cooperation between the police and the military, where we have all benefited from each other's expertise. It has gone very well.
And the issue of logistics, you mentioned in the presentation that you need more vehicles, and the communication gadgets that you use also inadequate, and so sometimes you're forced to use mobile phones. How that's hindered operations of Vanguard?
Communications, you look at the environment, at certain places, communication work. So it's very obvious when you enter a thick forest. If you enter a thick forest, your carriers may fail you. But when it comes to the transport, we need to do more. We've done so much now. We want to do more. And if we want to do more, then we need to have more resources. We're asking for more, so we can do more. Let's extend our frontiers, reach more places. And then if we have to go to other regions,
that was going to be my next question. You are in only 3 regions, and we know that says in 8 regions, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we'll take it one step at a time, one step at a time. For now, we are dealing with the West Head regions, and so once we are done, we'll move on to the next areas based on the intelligence that we have.
And that's what time are we looking at?
It's a very fluid operation. It's ongoing. The timelines are not part of our activities. What we are really particular about is our achievements. It's solid, measurable achievements. So we're not using timelines in this operation at all.
Timeline is at least 1 year. Operation Vanguard.
Well, that is what you say. But for me, on the ground, I'm not using timelines. I'm using achievements, limited objectives, measurable achievements. Once I'm able to deal with a particular area, I'm more particular about than looking at how long it takes me to do that.
Dominic Nitiwo, who just finished engaging Operation Vanguard in the eastern region at Osino, eastern region town of Osino, where that is the final port of call by the 2 ministers who have visited so far 3 regions, starting from the western region town of Takwa, Ashanti region town of Wawasi, and now rounded it all up here at Osino in the eastern region. This is a morale booster, and the minister expects that it goes a long way to improve upon operations of Operation Vanguard in ending illegal mining in the country. This has been Latif Idris bringing you up to speed on the minister's tour in the 3 mining regions in Ghana.
Well, Latif Idris with that report. Meanwhile, Captain Ebenezer Budukumsin says, although the show of force by the Operation Vanguard task force is succeeding in sacking illegal miners, plans to assist the miners to get alternative sources of livelihood appears to have been shelved. Speaking on PM Express on the JoyNews channel yesterday, the retired army captain said although the Nana Akufo-Addo-led administration had promised to tackle illegal mining holistically, to include finding alternative sources of livelihood and reclamation of land, that has yet to happen.
I was shocked to read that we have over 1 million Ghanaians involved in illegal mining. Over 1 million, of which we have 50% of them being women and children.
50%?
50% being women and children, and it's a huge challenge. Over 1 million people getting their livelihoods from illegal mining. I mean, how do you displace them? How do you contain them? How do you curb them? You know, the lives that have been affected by this over 1 million people, it's a huge and a daunting task. Well, to some extent, a means of livelihood, but also to some extent, an easy default of finding a good livelihood. Why do I say so? If it's out of poverty and I can't get a job to do and things, okay. Then to be cursed by the soil under my feet, then I'd rather be blessed by the soil under my feet. So therefore, I will extract something from under my feet. But then it became an easy default area when other able-bodied persons who could otherwise have been working in other industries realized that I can make far more going into galamsey than maybe farming. I could go get far more than hiring myself out as a laborer. I can go get far more than working even as an educated person in a company in the city. So it became another default. And if you travel to the areas where they are engaged seriously in this galamsey thing, there's liquid cash. And the challenge is what sort of alternative livelihoods that we will be trying to wean them off this could possibly give them those returns. That should be causing all administrative and management personnel sleepless nights.
National Council for Persons with Disability has hinted of plans to implement job-specific quota program for the physically challenged. Acting Executive Secretary Kwamina Dazi Dennis says a consultative team is working on a blueprint to be ready at the end of the year. He was speaking at the 37th anniversary and biennial conference of the Ghana Society of the Physically Disabled in Kumasi.
Ghana Federation of Persons with Disabilities laments its members are often regarded as unproductive and incapable of contributing positively to society. They are seen as economic burden on family, community and nation, often weakly represented even in civil society advocacy. The leadership says the stigma and discrimination leave the physically challenged in a vicious cycle of poverty. Government, in a bid to reverse the trend, recently employed 70 disabled persons as toll booth attendants. Job-specific quotas are set to be introduced to augment the toll booth program.
From the toll booth, there are certain areas to which can be reserved for persons with disability. And that one will be working with the Ministry of Employment and Labor Relations to see how we can reserve certain specific jobs for persons with disability. So you see, because it's something like a form of affirmative action for persons with disability. Because if you didn't do that, and that always they have to go and compete with everybody on the job market, it becomes difficult for them.
The theme for this year's celebration is Inclusion Matters, Work for All. President of the Ghana Society of the Physically Disabled, Reverend John Murphy, reverses disability unfriendliness of public facilities. He charges government to factor interest of persons with disability in implementation of One District, One Factory initiative.
A person with disability can go to school, complete education, and at the end of it all, he will not be employed, not because he is not competent, but because our society, our environment is not conducive for the person to work. Is it fair? It's not fair. So what we are appealing to government is that as he has the initiative of One District, One Factory, we want to reform the title for him, that we need one district, one accessible factory. Our emphasis is on accessible factory. That one is very important to us.
Reporting for JoyNews, Kwesi Deborah.